Hello, everyone. Welcome to our RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 6, Episode 10, Rudemption Lip-Sync Smackdown. It's me and Ollie today.
Yes, we're gonna lip sync for our spot back in the competition, Jackie.
Exactly. Sorry, I'm trying to learn how to use the chat on the side here. So far, we have Chuck and Mark in the chat. Mark lost his voice, so he will be joining us by chat. Yes, and I did cut my hair, which is not relevant to this podcast, but I did, and I feel great about it because it's hot as balls here in LA.
It's very Posh Spice, Jackie. I love it.
I think I fixed this chat. Okay. So just Ollie, what are your first thoughts on, now we know what the game behind the game is, it's not rock, paper, scissors. So I wanted to know what you think of the game within the game.
Yeah, going into it last week, I was even talking with Mark on the show. I was like, I am going in with low expectations. Like, I don't know how they're going to pull this off, but the way they pulled it off, doing it literally every single week of filming, I thought they were going to do the whole entire game in that one sitting, basically. So I love that they did it week after week with the eliminated queens, and it was a fun episode. It was really fun to see the eliminated queens fight for their spot. I was thoroughly entertained, and it was very refreshing. Like, it was just a very refreshing episode as we're coming down to the wire. But I am very excited and eager just to for the crowning moment. Like, I'm just ready because it's been a while. It's been a long season. It's been fun, but I'm so ready for that finale now.
I know. You know what? I wish. I actually wish they had been showing these lip syncs after, as part of Untucked, or after each, at the end of each episode or something. Probably as part of Untucked. I felt Untucked was the deliberations get old after a while because it's just people saying the same thing. I want to be here. I deserve to be here. And it's a little repetitive, and we already know these queens. So usually Untucked in a normal season is a little bit more information about their queens and their personal stories, which I guess we did get an update in the beginning, where these queens have been and what they've been doing. But after you know that, you're like, I already know a lot about these queens. So I wish Untucked had done, shown the actual lip syncs after each episode, because the game within the game teaser went on too long, in my opinion. People were getting annoyed, and Mark, sorry, I don't know how. Okay. There we go. Mark says, I agree. I thought the same thing regarding them showing them in each episode. But anyway, we had an epic episode, series of lip syncs here where basically, Silky, sorry, I was thinking Jiggly, and I was like, that's not right, brain. Silky lip synced her way to the final showdown between Eureka and Silky, and then we don't know who won from there. But so let's start with the first, which was Serena Cha-Cha versus Jiggly. What did you think of that one, Ollie?
I think, first of all, I just want to say Serena Cha-Cha looked so gorgeous.
She did. She looked gorgeous.
Amazing. And finally she can do something good, as opposed to her really mediocre track record on Drag Race. So it was nice to see her pull it off, but I think Jiggly just rocked the crap out of that lip sync. And I was very happy because, I'm a Jiggly stan, just to see Jiggly progress. And sorry, Serena, but I was totally here for Jiggly in that lip sync.
I'm a Jiggly stan too, so I was really rooting for her. I also want to say thanks to the people who I just saw joined us, Elaine Cowboy Boots Forever and Jesse Drew, who said this is the first time catching us live. So thank you all for joining us in the chat today. What I liked though was there was a small part of me that was trying to figure out if the outfits that they were wearing coordinated with some of the challenges, because me too. Because you feel like some of these people, they didn't really get to do these challenges, or they didn't get to do, they didn't get to do these challenges at all. So you're wondering, okay, well, they're obviously going to come back and look their best for these lip syncs. And then I was like, I wonder if this outfit corresponded with any challenge.
Right.
But
it makes you think, because also the queens probably bring like just lip sync outfits in general too. But I totally did the same thing, Jackie. I was like, I wonder if that's the gothic runway or whatever, yada yada runway, because it makes you think, because they didn't get to show it off, so why not show it off here when you paid money for it, so might as well.
Well, Mark doesn't agree with us. He says that Serena should have won the lip sync. Sorry.
I like Serena's look better, but I just loved Jiggly in that.
I loved Jiggly in that lip sync. I love Jiggly. Well, let us know in the chat, or let us know on social media who you thought won that lip sync. But so then I think my problem with Serena in that lip sync was I felt like she was lip syncing to a different song, if that makes sense. So I felt Jiggly did appropriate work for the song, but I felt like Serena was like doing something to a song in her head that didn't match.
To me, I think Serena may have more high energy, but I think Jiggly embodied it a little bit better. Because I think the little hops was a little awkward from Serena. I was like, go off, Serena, but I don't know, it didn't read in Vogue to me.
It's really important, though. I mean, we talk about this all the time on this podcast. It's really important when you have a lip sync, if you have a person who that's not necessarily their style, or they're going up against someone who like let's say you were Chad Michaels and you get a Cher song. It's like this is your wheelhouse. This is what you do. And then someone who doesn't do that might not be as good at that particular song. But we'll talk about this later. What I thought Silky did well was for songs where I thought the other person might have been embodying the song better, that she just relied on humor in such a way that she has a good comedic timing. So she hit certain beats that made you forget that the other person was doing this amazing lip sync to the all the way right, all the way great. And then she did something incredibly funny that made you just draw your eyes to her, So the next one was Jiggly and Silky. And this is one of those examples. So I thought Jiggly was doing a really great job of embodying the song. She had like this like cute, sexy, like lollipop thing going on that I loved. And when I was first watching this, I was like, oh, Jiggly has this, she's got this in the bag. And then Silky came with that like drink gag that was making me laugh so hard that I forgot about what Jiggly was doing.
Right.
So it was a clever move.
Yeah, I think you kind of lost focus from Jiggly. And then Jiggly, I think I don't know. It's hard to, because it's like, okay, now she's making a drink and then you're just like sucking on a lollipop. You kind of get stuck. At least that's what I felt from Jiggly in that moment. And obviously I want Jiggly to do well, but Silky totally stole the show. She had ice, she had the alcohol, she had the Coke or whatever drink that was. But I was like, how did she store all that stuff in her titties? It's insane.
I know. So this comment is from Mark. He said, I know some people are not fans of Silky, but she did exactly what Jackie said. She did drag, she performed and took the spotlight each time. And I do know we have fans in the chat that are, Chucky Chuck says she stopped lip syncing. And I think I didn't mind it because the gag was so good. And that's a chance that she took, because if the audience wasn't, if the timing wasn't right and the audience wasn't on board with the gag, then it wouldn't have worked. But I really appreciated it. And let's see, some people, so this is from BK Teacher Rat. Silky is a stunt queen. It was funny the first time. After that, I got bored. When it got to the Barbie girl one, and we'll get to that, I was like starting to like be like, are we going to get a gag each time? But then I didn't mind it. So we'll get to that. So the next one is Silky versus Yara. I was a little bit disappointed in Yara because I've seen her lip sync live, and I don't know if some of the queens were saying that they felt defeated, or, you know, they had just come off of a loss. So I don't know if, because she was so disappointed in herself, if that was affecting her. But I don't think this is Yara's best work. Like when you've seen Yara live, it's like, it's just show stopping.
Yeah, because it's like, this is your chance to come back potentially. So it was kind of like, I don't know, she did the fun little like air guitar, or not, was the air guitar she was doing with like her coochie. So that was cute, but I think, I don't know, there was something about her. And then like, kind of like untucked, she just seemed defeated. She quickly got out of drag. So I don't know what was up with Yara, you know? So I'm glad that you bring that up. She just seemed like she wasn't all there. And I also enjoyed Silky's lip sync as well. So I do think Silky won that lip sync because of Yara also just seeming like, because, you know, like you said, Yara is such a performer. She steals the stage, but in that performance, I don't know, Yara just didn't seem happy.
Yeah, I Mark in the chat is saying the same thing. I felt like she gave up. And I do think that had to do with, you know, how she felt coming off the episode, which is why, again, this would have been better in the Untucked, because then you would have had that mood rolling into Untucked and it would have made more sense, versus here, you're just kind of seeing it and there's a little bit of a disconnect.
Yeah, it's almost as like last thing, sorry, I think she kind of just knew like Silky won like in the middle of the lip sync. That's what I think. She's like, oh, Silky won this.
Well, so the next one was Silky and Scarlett. And when Silky and Scarlett talk in Untucked about this lip sync, Scarlett says, you know, it's hard to win or hard to lose a second time. So she had said, I felt defeated the first time, and then now I feel even more sad, you know, and I think this is why Akira chose not to lip sync, which is the next one that happened. And I do think that might be affecting some of the performances. And if you're like Silky coming off of a couple of wins, you then start to build up this like momentum and confidence that might be backing you up in some of the performances too. So what did you think of the Silky and Scarlett lip sync?
I thought it was cute. Scarlett looked amazing. I loved her leotard. I know it was a leotard, but I thought she looked.
But she did look amazing.
She looked great, and but yeah, I don't know. Like you just couldn't at this point as a viewer, you really just couldn't like help but not to root for Silky. And also, I just think Silky was a little bit more entertaining. You know, I think Scarlett was trying her best to embody the song, but I don't know. I just felt like it was Silky's in this particular lip sync. But I enjoyed seeing Scarlett. I love Scarlett.
I love Scarlett too. I think Silky did like color guard or something at one point. And so when she whipped out the flag, I was really excited because I was kind of waiting for her to do something like that. Because I think she had done like color guard and like flag flipping. Like that's part of her background. So I was excited to see that when it came out. Mark thinks Scarlett did nothing. We love Scarlett, Mark, but he doesn't. I love Scarlett. So then the next one was supposed to be Silky and Akira. Akira says, no, I'm not gonna do this. You know, I wonder, well, I guess they didn't know who they were lip syncing against. I wonder if that would have had an effect over her or not. Yeah. Ollie, what did you think about her choice not to perform?
Of course, I'm obviously like disappointed because I love Akira and I'd love to see her like come back for another chance because I think she's an amazing lip syncer. She totally annihilated that one lip sync, I think, with Raja in her season where she said, get to step. But, you know, I think she made the right decision at the end of the day because Silky with Barbie Girl, I thought that was really funny and entertaining. I loved it. Some people didn't like it, but just imagine Akira in that lip sync. She would have been totally like overshadowed by Silky.
Yeah.
And
okay,
I think also just Akira, I think she's also done so well on her original season. She feels bad because she didn't do as well on her All-Star season. So it's kind of like, let me just cut it off prematurely before I, make my track record look even worse than my original season.
Right. And I mean, a couple of these queens, like, like Yara is a legend, and she went home, like third or second or something? Third.
Or fourth.
But anyway, it's like some, I guess in All Stars, it just depends on who's in the cast and what's going on and what the challenges are, because like some of these queens, like they might have been in the top 3 and they were total legends in their season. And then they go home early in an All Stars. And it doesn't mean you can't come back for another All Stars, which apparently Jan is open to.
Right?
Okay, so this lip sync, I have to say, you guys, I died. First off, I'm a 90s, I grew up in the 90s. So I freaking love that song, Barbie Girl. It's such a blast of a song. And then I was here for the reveal because I appreciated that she said, I take this seriously. I would still like to perform. So I was thinking she's got to have something good prepared to want to still perform, And she had the face cover. So I was like, what's going on here? And then when it was like the half, I died. I was just I was screaming. I was laughing so hard. So this was my hands down favorite performance of the night. I just thought it was one of the funniest gimmicks I've ever seen. So, and then I love how she did in the Untucked, a conversation with herself.
It was so good.
Yeah. So let us know in the chat, what you guys thought of the Barbie Girl one. I think, I don't know, from looking at social media, it seems like a lot of people enjoyed it, thought it was funny, that sort of thing. So the next one was Silky versus Jan. And this is another one. Mark says, I had a blast with Barbie Girl too. I loved her comment. I didn't expect it either. It was classic drag and she killed it. I love the ending when she was rolling. Yeah, I love that too. And then she was doing the kiss on herself. She was trying to do a hug on herself to make it look like she was kissing herself. So I just thought that was funny. So Chucky Chuck says, showing the Barbie Girl performance showed just how rigged and dick in the soup this episode was. I do think there is a little bit of dick in the soup going on in the sense that not that drag queens don't ever bring props to performances, but I wonder if the other queens were discouraged from bringing props. Something like that sticks in my mind because Silky is an ideas person. She is definitely a comedian and has a lot of ideas. So I don't think there's any dick in the soup in the sense that I do think these were, and maybe Jayla can confirm with you guys, but I do think that these were Silky's ideas genuinely. But then it makes me wonder, why didn't some of the other queens fight as much as I know them to fight? Was it just that they were feeling, bummed off of a loss, or why didn't some of them have some sort of gag or something ready, so there's part of me kind of wondering that, were they discouraged from doing that? Were they told they couldn't, But then we get to the Silky versus Jan one, and I really do feel like that one was very close. Jan gave it her all. Jan had some great stuff going on. I think the only reason that Silky won was that guitar smashing at the end that was so hilarious. But a lot of people online felt like this one was a particularly close lip sync. What do you think, Ollie?
Yeah, I agree. I think to me, it was actually my favorite of the night. I love the Barbie girl, but actually in terms of like battling, I loved seeing Jan and Silky go head to head. Because Jan was ready. It was nice that she was kind of prepared. Unlike, I'm not saying the other queens weren't prepared, but she actually kind of thought about, oh, the gags, just like Silky did. So it was nice. She had the hair reveal. She took off her cape. She slid down the runway. So it was nice to see an actual battle. To me, this was like the first like, oh crap, who is going to like go succeed? Because Silky was definitely, she had the props though. She had the electric guitar. She had the reveal. So to me, it was probably like the most neck and neck lip sync of the night, and I really enjoyed it.
I totally agree with that. And then the next one was Silky versus Pandora. I thought this one was a really fun one. Pandora looked gorgeous, and this is something I've been saying all season. I felt like this is how Pandora normally looks. If you go see Pandora perform live, this is how she looks. So a lot of her looks this season haven't been matching this look that she wore in the lip sync that I felt was more her. So that was something I was happy about, was seeing her in an outfit that I felt was more classically Pandora.
And I love this song. I love this song, Focus song. And it was actually a song that Silky, I saw her say that she actually like, this was in her wheelhouse. So I'm like, as much as I love my Pandora, this was like definitely Silky's like lip sync as well.
Yeah.
But I also think like, I'm so happy for Silky because she went home third. So like she gets to have like this moment, whereas like these queens had more episodes than her. So, and a part of me is like, I'm so happy for Silky. She gets to like show more case of her skills and her talent. So yeah.
I like the idea of in an All-Stars doing this like lip sync redemption thing, because lip syncs are like the staple of what drag queens do, right. In the US at least. And I just wish I would have been seeing this like every episode. So Mark said, if it was a different song, I think Pandora could have done better, but I knew Silky was going to win as soon as the song came on. And I that's something we talk about too. It's like a little bit of dick in the soup with the songs, So the next one is Silky versus Eureka, and Eureka was the one who has just left in the last episode. And the last episode was so hard because basically if you weren't the queen who won, you were in the bottom, but I don't think any of them did poorly. Like I enjoyed all of their little characters they did. I forgot what the show was called, Tiny Drag Tots or something.
Drag Tots, yeah.
Drag Tots, yeah. So I could have seen any of them as a cartoon. I appreciated all of them. I agree with the Raja win, but it is hard because you're just saying like now everybody else who did well is in the bottom. So I think this is another one of those things too, where it's like, Silky gets to this fight with Pandora. It would have been weird if they picked like a more Pandy song, like a more of a Pandora song. And then Silky went home on this one, because I think what they wanted was like, you see this person slay all these lip syncs, get this far, and then you end it with the big, like, this person has made it this far, like won all these lip syncs, really. We've discussed this on other shows where we've said, it's hard in a show when you have a queen who returns, because you always say, well, did they deserve this? And I think when you've won this many lip syncs in a row, then it feels more like, okay, well, if Silky's the one who gets to come back from this, we feel like she deserved it, versus if it had been Silky and Pandora, and then Pandora won only 2 lip syncs, like let's say Pandora won hers with Silky and then Pandora won with Eureka, then we would say, oh, well, did she deserve it? Like that kind of thing comes in, which is why I honestly do think that it's going to end up being Eureka winning, because one, Silky got stuck in her costume when she tried to do the reveal. And again, I don't know if that was done on purpose or what. And then because people are going to be like, oh, well, Eureka didn't really, quote unquote, lose,
Yeah.
So I don't.
I agree, because unfortunately, Silky, I'm rooting for Silky at this point, but also I feel like Eureka does deserve it, because she would make sense to come back and have like an actual shot, I think. I mean, yeah, she got eliminated, but like she didn't miss any of the challenges. But Silky definitely got stuck in her costume. And then a lot of people are saying, oh, Eureka was messy, her wig was falling off, but I just didn't notice that. I think Eureka was really fighting. You know, she wasn't relying on anything. She mentioned her mom. You know, I think both of them actually attributed their mother in their performances. I think even Silky did, about her mom losing weight. And so this was like it was actually beautiful storytelling of them like fighting and paying homage to their mothers. So I thought that was beautiful storytelling. But I agree. I think Eureka, I mean, unless we can get like Alyssa Edwards and Tatiana both coming back, that would be amazing. But I don't think that's going to happen. But that would be cool. But I definitely think I think it's Eureka coming back.
Yeah, I do too. So Chucky Chuck said, how would Silky have done in the challenge where her challenger had been eliminated? I unfortunately, I don't understand the question. So let me know in the chat what the follow-up is. Worst interpretation of Since You've Been Gone ever. Well, I guess like, I don't know if Magenta, you were saying that worst interpretation thing of, if you were saying that about Silky or Eureka. I would say, because like Eureka to me was more playing towards the original content of the song. And I think even though Silky did do a tribute to her mom, it just doesn't read to me as like matching the song as much, if that makes sense. So I have, Ollie, do you have anything else you want to say about the Lip Sync Smackdown or the Lip Sync Smackdown format? It seems people are enjoying the format. It's very like, made me think of like Mortal Kombat or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, I liked how I thought it was going to be a tournament, like an actual like, okay, these two are going to go, and then these two are going to, you know how like a tournament set up, kind of like rounds and whatnot. But I actually was pleasantly surprised. I think this is probably maybe one of the best twists they ever did on All Stars, accompanied with All Stars 2 with the whole mirror gag twist of someone coming back. So I really enjoyed it. I was, like I said, I was coming in with like low expectations.
Sorry, I have to block some weirdo in the chat. Okay. Okay, so Chucky Chuck says, when Silky beat Pandora after Pandora was eliminated, so in my scenario that I gave earlier, what happened if Silky would have beat Pandora? So Chucky Chuck said, if Silky would have beat Pandora after Pandora was eliminated, how would Silky have done in that episode's Maxi Challenge? That's a good point. That's a good point, because Pandora had, up until this point, done, you know, she had done, I guess, like the Eureka thing, where it's like you were like middle of the road sometime, most of the time, you know. I don't know. That's another question. Maybe, you know, because Silky had been eliminated early, maybe she wouldn't have done well, but who knows, if it was a comedy challenge, maybe they both would have done well. I don't know. It's hard to say. It is hard to say at that point.
I know. I don't know. I just feel bad, because if Silky does go home, she was fighting all these damn weeks. I just think if Morgan McMichaels, who went home first in All Stars 3, can come back and like weeks later to go home, no shade, but like why not have Silky possibly come back, you know? But yeah, I still think Eureka will be back. So
yeah, I think it'll be Eureka, but I think we'll have them, you know, we'll have the memory of all these queens doing these like Rudemption lip syncs, and some of them to me were some of the most iconic ones that I've seen, you know. The Barbie girl one, I'm never going to forget that. The one with Silky and Jan, I loved that one. So, and like Mark said, he loved the Serena Cha-Cha versus Jiggly. So I think you know, anytime you can get a little more screen time where fans can see a little bit more of you, especially in these days where we're just starting to get back into the bars and we're just starting to be able to go and see these queens in person after like a year and a half. It's good publicity for the queens. So Elaine says she thinks they're both going to be let back in because it's too much of an uproar. I wonder if there's going to be a double winner. Do you think there's going to be, because
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because we had not All Stars 4, there was a double winner.
You're right. Trinity and Monet.
Right.
I know, but I'm wondering if like maybe that was a one-off thing, because there's so many. I think they all deserve the crown. Well, like, yeah, the top 4 minus the person who's coming back. I think those 4, like, I could see them all like winning the crown. So, and there's just so many fans invested in each one of them, and they're all so talented. So as much as I never want it to happen again, because like, I don't know, it takes away a little bit of it. I don't know, but I wouldn't mind if it happened again, just because I love this top 4 so much. Yeah. So I wouldn't be opposed if it does happen.
Right. I honestly, I want to hear what you guys who you guys think is going to win All Stars. I think it's going to be, if they do a double win, I think it's going to be Raja and Ginger.
That's mine too.
Really? Yeah, because I love Trinity. I love Kylie, but I think when you look at the track record of like who's been in the bottom, who's won, you know, like how many challenges have they won? I think they've all won 2. I think they have all won 2 challenges.
They've all won 2 except for Kylie. Yeah, I believe
Kylie didn't win the American Horror Story one.
Oh, that was her only
That
win.
was her only win. Oh, okay. So then if you look at the track record, then I would say that it would seem to me like Raja and Ginger would win, which I don't care. Like at this point, I don't care who wins because I love them all. You know,
they're all winners. I just love Raja. Like I love Raja so much. She really grew on me, and I think she just did so well. And I know, like obviously, I love Ginger, but we all knew Ginger was gonna slay, you know?
Right.
With Raja, she is like this total wild card. She came in and stole the hearts of us all and won 2 challenges and just had this amazing, beautiful story that no discredit to any of the other queens, but I just think Raja, she is amazing. She's like total redemption. Yeah,
this is a redemption for a lot of queens this season. And no one in the chat likes my double win idea. No one likes it.
We're just trying to spread, and also like we're just trying to spread the love. We're trying to spread the win, you know? God,
right.
We love all the queens.
We do. I mean, all of them, when you think about it. So like Ginger, a lot of people thought like Ginger would win either her season or All Stars, you know? And then Trinity Trinity had been forgotten for a while and then came back and just like blew away this competition. Same thing with Kylie, because it had been a while since they've been on. And then people didn't like Raja on her season because she was, you know, going through it. So I think for all of them. And then Eureka, her first season, she busted her knee and had to go home. So I think for a lot of these queens, like for every single one of the ones in the top, it would be a redemption story. And same thing with Silky. If Silky manages to get to the top through this, a lot of people didn't like Silky on her season, even though she was in the top 3. So I think any one of them, it would be a redemption story. So
agreed.
Mark says Ginger should have won season 7 and she's winning this one too. She deserves a win, and so does a big girl. I do agree with that. Ken says, I like how chat Mark is yelling at us. He has no voice, but he will yell at you in the chat.
We can hear it. I can hear it in my ears right now.
Right. So fan of the week this week is Melody H, who said she appreciates Mark's perspective. So it's a tie-in to Mark. So some love with Mark there. Hello Kitty loves when Mark yells at us. And Magenta says she's with Mark. I'm assuming that means on the Ginger win. Does anybody have any other questions for us, comments, thoughts on this episode in the chat, or thoughts on who they think will win or who is going to win the ultimate lip sync Smackdown. Chucky Chuck says Mark needs to type in caps because he doesn't have his glasses on. So Ollie, did you have any like final thoughts on this episode or the season?
Not really. I just loved it. I'm enjoying it, but I'm ready. I wish next week was the finale because I think a lot of us are we're ready for like the end of the roller coaster. It's been great, but I think we still have 2 more episodes probably.
Yeah,
but
I think this is like the longest All Stars we've ever been through, which I told you guys in the beginning, I was really excited about seeing all these queens come back. I like so many of them, you know, but I do think it's come to the end.
Yeah.
And we're ready for a queen to be crowned. Chucky Chuck says, I didn't like this episode and I think it divided the fan base. I do think that anytime a queen is given a chance to come back, I do think that divides the fan base because people feel like, you know, why this person wasn't here all along, you know, why did they get another chance? And again, that's why I think Eureka is going to be the one who will like ultimately win. And then Magenta says Eureka will win and probably next week too, because then she'll technically have 2 wins. Because we know the story with Eureka was like, when am I going to get my win? When am I going to get my win? And then she went home. So this would be her quote unquote win, you know, her first win.
And that's going to divide the fan base even more because then Eureka will win. And then one of the queens has been there the entire time. Granted, Eureka's been there the whole time, is going to go home.
Yeah. Sorry, I just saw a question and I think if Silky doesn't win, she'll have built in a 1-woman show. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like she'll always be like she's completely ingrained forever on Paramount Plus, this iconic win streak. Like that's right. That's a win in itself. So
right. I saw someone tweet, did I just watch Silky? Like, was this episode just Silky lip syncing for like an hour? It's like, yes.
The Silky Power Hour. I love it.
The Silky Power Hour. Do you think the returning queen, this is from Luis, do you think the returning queen will win the challenge next episode? That's along with what Magenta said. I think that's a good hypothesis because then if it's Eureka, it's the story of Eureka came back and finally got her win. Mm-hmm. Or if it's Silky, then it's that cemented like, okay, I fought through all these queens and then I came back and got a win. I think either way, that's if we do a little like dick in the soup, I think that's the story there, you know? So one of them I would imagine would have to win because that's the story. Chucky Chuck for Jan's lip sync says, even Jan haters think Jan won that lip sync. You know, really? I love Jan. I'm a Jan stan. I thought it was pretty close, but I was really amused by the like guitar smashing thing at the end. And I always judge it. I have my personal feelings on one end, and then I have what is going to make Ru laugh on the other. So Silky was doing things that really make Ru laugh, and she's the ultimate judge. So I think that's honestly what it came down to.
Oh, Mark has a good question. Who will go home?
Oops. This entire episode was sticking this. Who will go home if Eureka wins? Honestly, I think they'll probably do a top 4. I just think they'll do a top 4. And that goes into my double win theory.
Wait, no, there's still 5 though, Jackie. So if Eureka wins, there's still Raja, Trinity, Ginger, Kylie.
Oh, well then maybe they'll do a top 5.
Top 5.
I can't count. I'm not a math person.
I think it would, oh God, it pains me to say this. I think if Eureka does win, I think Kylie might go home because she only has 1 win.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want that to happen. I love Kylie. Yeah. Are you kidding me? But
yeah,
I think that would be my guess maybe if that does in fact happen.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see. All right, that's all we have for you guys today, unless you have any more questions. Most of this was just like lip sync extravaganza. All of it, actually. Chucky Chuck says, I think Ru could pick Kylie as the winner because it would be Emmy Gold. Yeah, I could see that.
Maybe Kylie will win next episode. Oh, I'm excited though. It's like they knew putting that cliffhanger was like smart, even though it made me angry. But they knew
same.
They know what they're doing. Ugh, yeah. So frustrating.
Ken says, is this the season 9 of All Stars? Because everyone was happy with any of the 4 winning season 9, and I have that feeling now. Yeah, I have that same feeling.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, what do you think of the UK3 cast reveal? I love all of the UK seasons all of the time, and I've not been disappointed in the reveal, and I'm just like, it just makes me more excited to watch it. Ollie, have you seen the UK reveal yet?
I have.
What do you think?
I think I'm excited nonetheless, but obviously the cast reveals they never really mean a whole lot to me. I just need to see the first episode, you know?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see each queen and their different aesthetics and get to know them a little bit, but I need to see them in action, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm happy for Charity Case. She's
I love that name.
She's one of the few I knew like prior to the show. Like, and I've heard of them on social media, so I'm happy that she's on.
Chucky Chuck says, because we have our first cisgender woman in the cast, the uproar of a female in the cast is crazy. I think it's, I don't know enough about British drag to know if that's something that, like, if a lot of like cisgender women do drag over there, I don't know, for us Americans, it might seem like a little bit strange, but for them, I don't know. So that's my take on it. Is like, I don't know, if it works over there, then why not? They had a character, they had a drag queen in the first season who was either straight or bisexual. I can't remember, but I think that, and then and then
Scaredy Cat,
and Scaredy Cat's girlfriend did drag too. So knowing that the girlfriend did drag, I don't know if it's more common there. So Magenta's weighing in. We do have quite a few over here in Ireland, UK. So apparently it's a thing there. So then, that makes me like, it's whatever it is over there, then that's what it is,
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I think it's awesome. Victoria
Stone. Yeah, I think
more room for AFAB queens, I think they're called.
Yeah, right? And then I just learn about different types of drag all over the world, which is awesome. I wonder, Nouvelle Cost says, I wonder if they'll let the top 4 vote on the lip sync winner. I actually love that idea. If the top 4 get to vote on who won Eureka versus Silky, I think that's actually a great idea. It goes in it goes with the theme of All Stars, where everyone's doing voting.
That's a good point. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Ooh. No, Ru's like, no, this is my decision. Forget you, queens. This is my show.
Ken says, okay, so this is back to the AbFab queen thing. I think they should be allowed in the show. It's fine. What would make me upset is the Candy Muse type of edit, not doing well and keeping them around for nothing. Hope Ronnie Jr. is listening to that. He's like Candy Muse's only fan. BK Teacher says, there are AbFab queens in the UK, but still a minority, and they have to fight for recognition. Well, maybe this will give them some more recognition then.
And she's also a queer woman too, Victoria Scone. So
yeah,
it's like, you got to support your community. Like, if the community's supporting you, support them back. Like,
right.
What's wrong? Like, I don't know. I don't get the whole thing of like fighting each other within our queer community. It's like, be an ally and show support, show up. Like, I don't see the discrimination of cisgender woman doing drag. I don't know. I think drag's for everyone, but that's just my opinion.
I do think drag is for everyone. And you know, like I've been saying for years I would love to see drag kings. So I have no problem if like a cisgender woman wants to do female drag. I don't have a problem with it. Elaine says, what about the double drag show duels in the Philippines, Manila versus RuPaul? I have not seen that.
So there's the Drag Race Philippines, and then Manila has her own Filipino drag show.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's amazing. I'm going to have to, you know, just binge WoW Presents Plus. Magenta says, all drag is valid. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Agreed. Facts are facts.
And Hello Kitty says, too much fighting in the world. Yes. All right.
Sweet.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. You can find me on all platforms at 123 Jackie B. Ollie, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you next week, and we will keep you updated on any recaps we decide to do on any of these international drag shows. As Chucky Chuck says, they've announced like 3 international drag race shows, and we've covered España, we've covered UK, we've covered Australia. So we'll keep you guys posted. Stay tuned here on this channel for any future drag coverage.
Yeah.
Bye.